Good morning, Stanwood. Whoever hollered for me, I appreciate that. I heard Officer Bud got a holler, and I was afraid I'd be left out. So, thank you, I appreciate that. All right, so, like Officer Bud talked about, right? When he joined the Marines, he had some arrogance, he had some cockiness to him, right? He knew he was something to be reckoned with. And the school invited him to come speak at your Veterans Day, right? Mine was a little different. All right, any of y'all know Matthew Lumen, Senior? Yeah? That's your brother? Hey, that's my brother too now because he just joined the Navy, right? So a little bit of my cockiness and arrogance, I called him up like, yo bro, let me come speak at this event. He's like, I got you. So I went home and wrote a 45-minute speech. I was pumped. I was gonna blow y'all away. And then yesterday I met with Mrs. Combs and she was like, hey, you get 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay. So instead you guys get the Cliff Notes. Now, if you can't tell from now, I have a bit of an accent. I'm not from around here. Okay, I'm from Ohio. And where I grew up in Ohio, we didn't have no nice fancy choir or nice big school, right? We had like 3 dudes that couldn't sing and it wasn't very good, okay? So y'all got a lot going on out here, but I can relate with some of y'all because you guys are kind of out here in the country a little bit more than some of the other places out here in Washington. That's cool, and that's where I grew up, right? Now, when I was growing up, 1st grade, 2nd grade, right, everybody wanted to be a teacher, they wanted to be a doctor, right? I wanted to be a fighter pilot because I saw a real cool movie called Top Gun. My man, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, thank you. Nobody ever knows what I say when I say Top Gun, all right? I wanted that slick hair and I wanted to play volleyball on the beach with a 6-pack. That didn't happen to me. No. I joined it for a whole nother reason. You see, most folks that have something like Officer Bud, right? They had somebody in their family that served and made a difference, right? They had a great-grandfather that served in World War II and he wrestled a Nazi grizzly bear and saved the princess. I ain't have all that. I had a movie. But I did have something else that's a little more motivating than a movie. Alright, now it was a day similar to this. It was nice sunny days, a little chilly. I was in 3rd grade, Mr. McGee's classroom. A little 3rd grade. And my life was changed that day. A lot of people's lives were. You see, we were in class and they came over to the speaker and they said, hey y'all, you need to turn on television. I was like, oh boy, must be something cool going on. And they rolled in this great big metal cart with this big old TV. This is before we had flat screens and fancy stuff. And the picture wasn't very clear. It was pretty blurry. You couldn't really tell what was going on. But they cut that TV on, and there was 2 towers. One of them was on fire. It was September 11, 2001. My life was about to be changed forever, as was the lives of every American and every citizen of this world. Because the world's deadliest terror attack was about to unfold before our eyes. But I was in 3rd grade. I didn't know what the heck was going on. The TV was so blurry you couldn't read the words at the bottom that were explaining what was happening. We were all confused. We were scared. And then a tiny little dot on the side of that blue sky started to move towards one of them buildings. First tower had already been hit. And as this tiny little dot hit that building, fire shot out the other side. And then we started to get the idea of what was going on. The nation was under attack for the first time since Pearl Harbor. And we were in a 3rd grade classroom in the middle of Ohio and couldn't do a thing about it. So we sat there, mainly confused, as we watched what happened. We understood the terror and the agony, but we were in 3rd grade. We didn't have any analog to compare this to. And that first tower fell. And I remember thinking, my elementary school was only about 300 people. And in an instant, more than that lost their lives. And as that 2nd tower came down, I turned back and I looked at my teacher, Mr. McGee, and he knew what was going on. And he was trying to hold us strong for all of us little 3rd grade kids. But as that 2nd tower came down, he lost it. His head dropped down, his hands went limp. It was terrible. But I swore right then and there that I was going to do something one day to make sure that that never happened again. I was going to get vengeance for what had happened. Now, fast forward, I'm in high school. Y'all's age, 17. Time to decide what I'm going to do, and I joined the Navy. I ended up stationed in Japan on an aircraft carrier, working on the flight deck, right next to those F-18s that I wanted to fly back in the day. And I never felt like I was truly making a difference because we were not in a combat role. We were in a strategic deterrence role, keeping other countries from acting up. But see, I had joined the Navy so that I could fight the fight, and I could fly the plane, and I could do this, and I could do that. And the problem with that, the mistake that I made, was I joined for me. I didn't join to serve selflessly as veterans do. We're here for Veterans Day to talk about those who came and served, paid the ultimate sacrifice, made other sacrifices. See, they didn't make those sacrifices for themselves, they made them selflessly for others. And that was a lesson I had to learn. Well, in 2013, I learned that lesson about selflessness because Super Typhoon Yolanda hit the Philippine Islands, and that nation was devastated. Thousands and thousands of people were affected by this. And as we launched jets in the past that had bombs and missiles, we traded that out for food, water, and medicine. And I learned something. See, those people on the ground, they didn't care who loaded up that jet. They didn't care who was driving the aircraft carrier. They cared that they had help. And then I learned, hey, dummy, it's not about you. It's about them. It's about the bigger cause. It's about serving selflessly. And that's what Veterans Day is about, is thanking those that serve. Now, it took me a while to learn that lesson, but I did. And it was also about that time that I got a little taste of the kind of sacrifice that other veterans have had to pay. Now, I've been blessed. I've not had to sacrifice much, but what I have had to sacrifice does hit home. You're going to miss birthdays. You're going to miss anniversaries. You're going to miss funerals. And that hits home. And when you're sitting out there and you're thinking, why did I do this? I'm missing out on my best friend's birth of his child. I've been talking about this for years. You remember, you're serving selflessly. You're not doing this for you. And ironically enough, serving selflessly helps you console yourself in those harsh moments. Now, I was in Japan, and just like our chorus just sang, I was ready to get back to this is my land, right? Now I get stationed in Virginia on the USS Harry S. Truman. I'm back in the States. All right, time to party in the USA, baby. Me and Miley was kicking it in Virginia, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But something had happened. You see, in 2001, September 11th, the terrorist organization that organized those attacks, there was a group of individuals that was even more radical than them, to where that organization was like, nah, man, y'all got to go do your own thing. You're too much. And they were like, I bet, we got this. And in the manner of a few years, they took over multiple nations in the Middle East, including the second largest city in Iraq, Mosul. The world had never seen anything like this before. And my aircraft carrier was sent on a mission. Look, Operation Inherent Resolve. Y'all got one mission. Go out there. Don't let them take another inch of land. And boy, did we. Now, I work on the flight decks of aircraft carriers, the most dangerous environment in the world other than actually being shot at. If you've ever had a plane fly over your head, you know how loud it is? Imagine being 6 feet from that bad boy. And he's loaded up with bombs and missiles and machine guns, and he's ready to go do work. Right? But you got to get him in the air, and that's what I do. Now, normally before this starts, it's all business. Right? It's very dangerous. Hey, put your helmets on, it's about to get real. But not today. Oh, no. They came over the intercom and they was playing AC/DC or Post Malone or whatever gets y'all fired up now. And we were ready to go. And we launched birds and jets. A bird is what we call a jet in the Navy, sorry. We launched F-18s for 8 months. Now, 2001, I was a third grader and I couldn't do anything to defend this country. But 14 years later, November 2015, I wasn't a third grader no more. And I was able to do something to make a difference. For 8 months, we stayed over there and we dropped 1,598 pieces of ordnance on ISIS and their allies. Not only did they not take another inch of land, we beat them back at 50% of it. And as we rolled out and another carrier came in, they knocked them out the rest of the way. All right, I got to make my difference. But to get there, I had to learn a lesson in selflessness. Now, I understand that. I understand that you don't serve for yourself. That's something that Veterans Day is here to recognize. That's something that veterans understand, don't have to be taught. I was a little hard-headed kid from Ohio. My journey was a little bit different. All right? Now, looking forward for y'all, right? How can y'all serve? Can you be selfless? Do you have to join the military? No. There are many ways to serve your country and serve your community, right? Firefighters, police officers like Officer Bud, all right? First responders, paramedics, missionaries. You be a veterinarian at your local animal shelter. Y'all interact with people who serve their community every day and probably don't realize it. Your teachers and faculty here. I know some of y'all wish they were firefighters and paramedics and not teachers, but you'll change your mind one day. The thing I want to leave you with is it doesn't matter what you go out and do as you get ready to graduate high school and go into the world, as long as you focus on serving selflessly. You'll be able to make that difference. You can stand alongside veterans and know that it's bigger than you. You can help others, and in turn, that'll end up helping yourself. Let's get a big round of applause for veterans, and thank you guys for having me.